not that mortality motivation has made me fearless, because it has not, but I think it's made fear a little bit less persuasive. And I'm happy about that. I'm still a very cautious person, but I'm still a person that's bold enough to say that I'm a full-time artist and feel good about it and not feel like I need to prove anything else by it. I'm most impressed by people that are living with their creative dreams. I think that's like, you have a different type of hunger in you for life, to not waste any time and to not let things that are distractions also be veiled as blessings, and just kind of sit in the clarity of what your purpose is. I feel like if I'm not going to try it now, when am I going to try it? Why not? I'm going to try to be a full-time artist. Okay. Introduce yourself. Who are you and what do you do? My name is Dominique Swift, and I'm a visual artist. I am a poet. I like the word Imagineer. I think it's from Walt Disney. I am a sister. I am a daughter. I'm a friend. I'm a lover. I guess it kind of incorporates what do I do too. Like, my main thing is painting. I'm also into like marketing and communications. But everything I do is just stems from my love of like creativity and expressing myself. Not one thing. Yeah. Talk to me about your art. How would you describe it? I think my art is evolving, so this might be a little rambling, but I would say at its core, my art is always trying to get at the question of like, how do you fill in the gaps for archives for me? Um, My philosophy for creating anything is coming from feeling like there was a lack of representation in a lot of visual areas of life, whether it be in the magazines, on TV, or in art. Like when you're going to the museums and you're not seeing yourself mirrored back to you by the people that are placed on the wall and honored that way. So I was like, I want to be an image maker. I want to be someone that creates things that look like the people that surround me every day and that are mirrors of my mother and my aunts and my friends and my dad. Um, so that's why I create my art. This current stage in my life, I am creating art to try to get at answers that I'm not even sure I have the questions for. I just finished my first ever painting collection. It's called Uli Awakened in Her Name, and it is a 12-piece collection. And it's about how me, as an African American woman, can insert myself into this African lineage, not knowing if I inherently belong there, because I don't have that ethnic history because of slavery and everything else that has disconnected us from the past. So Uli specifically is a Nigerian Igbo art form, and it was traditionally done by women and passed down generationally to speak to like the aesthetics of things and honor beauty and nature and spirituality. It's not meant to be overly sacred, but it is meant to communicate things that are unseen. So I really deeply related to that and wanted to like take my hand at it. That's what my art is right now. um, what drives you to create? I think I kind of answered that. Um, Still just that idea that I want to create images now for my nieces, because I'm old enough that I can pick what I see, but they don't always get to pick what they see. So I want what they see to be a reflection of them and who they want to become, because I think the act of becoming is often referential to what you're around. So I want to make sure they're surrounded by things that are positive, and complex, because a lot of the representations of Black women historically have been very flat and very static and very one thing. And we are, if anything, we're not one thing. So that's what I want them to see, the complexities of themselves and everything that's around them, and get to pick and choose what they get to take on. My mission as an artist is often, I would say, it's also connected to why I want to create. When people see my work, I want them to remember things that they didn't know that they forgot. And that's very important to me. I think my favorite compliments whenever someone sees my work is that they see themselves in it, even though it's not them. It looks nothing like them. It might not look nothing like me either. But it's the feeling, and they remember the feeling, or they remember a dream that they had, and it feels like what I painted. And those like through lines of us connecting as humans is my mission for what I create. Walk me through your creative process. Where do your ideas come from? Right now, they come from research, they come from life, um, they come from my curiosities about who I am as a person. I think we don't talk about how lonely your 20s are. Like, this is lonely. This is a whole different type of loneliness. I'm not talking about sitting in the room by yourself. I'm talking about like that internal, like what feels like emptiness sometimes, or like blah, when you can't even put words to it. And it's scary, but it's also very freeing, knowing that all of our paths at this point are our own. Like, you go through school and someone is telling you when you can go to the bathroom and when you have to go to the next class. And you're like, okay, they've had this figured out for me. But as soon as you're done college or done those like traditional checkpoints of life, you start to see everyone start to careen off into their own paths, and you're looking um, at them and trying to wonder, am I behind? Am I wasting time, and all of those things? So I think my ideas come from like wanting to feel that silence and that emptiness with something that is productive and gets more at the heart of what I feel like I may be missing because I forgot some things from when I was a child because of everything that has happened and all the experiences I've had. So that's where my ideas come from, just trying to honor that space, sit in that stillness, and keep getting that the heart of my identity. What do I hope people walk away with after experiencing my art? I hope people walk away with inspiration. I hope my art makes people want to get back in touch with their creative sides. I don't think anyone is uncreative or not talented. I think it's just what parts of yourselves have you decided to allot a lot of time to. I was very blessed that my parents never told me that being an artist wasn't a viable path, that I wasn't that I was gonna be starving. They never told me I was gonna be starving as an artist. And that's not my reality. I don't believe in that. Um, but I think that's a big reason I am where I am today, is because the people in my life just uplifted my dreams. They were like, okay, cool. What else do you want to try? And not everyone has that privilege. And that is a privilege, because you know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You have to get past your basic needs in order to sometimes start getting at what your passion is and what your dreams and your hopes are. And I've never had to falter from going right after my passions because my basic needs were covered. So I hope people remind themselves that they don't have to wait to get at that creative side of themselves, because we only have one life. And I just hope we're always asking ourselves, like, what is worth my life and what's worth my time, because that's also a very limited resource. Money's limited, but it's not limited resource. They're making new money every day. Talk to me about your recent exhibition, Uli Awakened. What inspired that body of work, and what did creating it teach you? What creating it taught me is that I have more questions than I have answers. And what inspired that body of work was I was working for an Afrofuturist photographer, and he is Nigerian and Igbo. And he told me about Uli and offered me a residency to start creating the work. And when I first accepted the residency, yes, I was excited because I was like, no one has ever taken a chance on me like this. No one has given me money to pursue my art when I have already been taking such a big break from it. So I'm like, why do they feel the faith in me to know that I can create this body of work? But once I started researching Uli and learning what it was about, I connected with it on a more personal and spiritual level, and realized that even though I felt like I wasn't connected to it because I don't know if I'm Nigerian or not, I felt connected to it because I'm a woman. And it made me realize that there are through lines between that experience no matter where you are in the world. So when I was researching Uli and learning about how sometimes after conflict, women would paint Uli on one another as like a sense of peace and something to resolve that, I was like, that's something that I can relate to in terms of getting back to yourselves with someone that you've been in opposition with and using each other's body as a canvas and seeing each other as art. That's something that I can relate to regardless of being Nigerian or not. And I think creating that work is still teaching me that there are, so Uli, it is symbols, it's a language, it's meant to just beautify things, but it's also a philosophy. Some of its core tenets are balance, like balance of space, especially like negative space and learning, again, to sit in the silence. And then I would say reductionism or simplification. It takes very complex things like the galaxy and turns it into a circle, or a couple of dots. And then also fluidity. Fluidity of line is very important in Uli. And those all sound like artistic principles, but I realized those are principles that I was missing in my personal everyday life, my emotional life, like how I'm showing up as a person. I've always had an issue with simplification. I'm very colorful. I can be very loud with my ideas. And especially with my art, my art is very maximalist. I am not part of the gray beige movement at all. So I'm like, sometimes the Coco Chanel say take off something before you leave the house. I might put something back on. But the simplification, I think I've always had an issue with that because as a child, I always remember hearing that you have to be twice as good as your counterparts as a Black woman, as a Black person. So I always went into spaces very cognizant of that and wanting to do so much that people couldn't deny that I was excellent. And that led me into doing things just for performance. And I think I'm still unlearning that. So Uli is teaching me to not over explain, let the work speak for itself, and let people get what they want out of your work. It's like I put the work out there and then I still want to tell people this is what it means. But you can't do that because everyone has their own lived experiences. So I'm getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and controlling meaning for other people, because I want them to think the work is excellent. At least I did. Now I just want them to see it because I want them to feel something from it. So it's teaching me that. Fluidity, something I struggle with as well, like just going with the flow. I think I'm a yes person, I'm like a type B person, but I also am a very cautious person. And that comes from fear of doing the wrong thing, or if I do this thing, will that stop me from doing this other thing? And all of that overthinking just leaves you stagnant. So trying to let go of those bad habits, even though they're artistic principles, I think they are parallel to life and how we move through it. So that's what Uli is teaching me. And I think those are lessons that will continue for the rest of my life and the rest of my artistic practice, for sure. What's an experience you've been through that shaped you the most as an artist? I have to pick one. I don't know. There's so many. There's so many. I feel like I need to see the rest of the questions to know how I should answer this. That shaped me the most as an artist. I think the experience that shaped me the most as an artist is an experience that shaped me the most as a person. Um, my senior year of high school, I had to stay in the hospital for a month. And it was very scary. They didn't know what was wrong with me. So I was observed 24/7 and I was angry. I was angry. Angry at God. I was angry at my body. I don't want to cry. And Callie, I don't want to cry. Let me just get in now. And feeling like it was betraying me and like I didn't know what was wrong. And I was under 18, so I was in a children's hospital. And what we did know is that it was a tumor. We didn't know why it came. It wasn't cancerous or anything. But because it was a tumor, I was staying on the oncology floor at a children's hospital. As angry as I felt, like not having answers for my own body, I knew that whatever I was going through wasn't the end all be all. I knew they could develop a plan for me. And I had to keep reminding myself, because when I was going on the laps in the hallway on the floor and I'm seeing like toddlers that are sick and may not get to leave, that really changed my perspective in terms of complaining. I just like had to refocus my perspective into saying like, why is God wanting me to slow down in this moment? And I think that experience led me to have, I forget where this term came from, but it's called mortality motivation. And it's not about like the fear of dying. It's more about the conscious awareness of knowing that life is finite. So like, what are you going to do with your time, and who are you spending it with, and what are you filling it with? And I think that's where my urgency as an artist comes from. Like, a lot of people think ambition is about recognition, but for me, it's really grounded in gratitude. Like, I'm so I'm so grateful that I get another chance. Every day I wake up, like whether I have a diagnosis or not, it's like every day we wake up is another chance. So I want to be intentional with how I spend my time. I feel like we all have a responsibility. And I know a lot of people as artists are like, you should just create art for the sake of creating art. And I think that's true. I think beauty in itself is a valid thing to create for. And but me, I feel a much greater responsibility to do something with what I'm creating. Just again, filling my time intentionally, and not that mortality motivation has made me fearless, because it has not. But I think it's made fear a little bit less persuasive. And I'm happy about that. I'm still a very cautious person, but I'm still a person that's bold enough to say that I'm a full-time artist and feel good about it, and not feel like I need to prove anything else by it. I think I'm most impressed by people that are living with their creative dreams. I think that's like, you have a different type of hunger in you for life, to not waste any time, and to not let things that are distractions also be veiled as blessings, and just kind of sit in the clarity of what your purpose is. So I would say the hospital stay. And yeah, it just made me live a lot more intentionally. So that's why I feel like if I'm not going to try it now, when am I going to try it? Why not going to try to be a full-time artist? If your younger self was here with us right now, what would you say to her? First, if my younger self was here, I don't think I would say anything to her immediately. I would hug her. I admire her. I am inspired by her. I feel like I have a lot to relearn from her. Like, I would just want to be in her presence. Like, she was so joyful and optimistic and kind. She was so kind and bold. And she was so happy. Like, I had a teacher that used to call me Sunny D because I smiled so much. Like, I want to be that joyful as an adult, where people are like, what is the source? And I can point them to Jesus. And living creatively. So that's what I would say to her. I mean, well, not say to her, just I would want to be with her at first. Because I think we spend a lot of our adult life chasing something. And I think what we are all chasing at the end of it is like just getting back to that childlike faith, not childish faith. There's a difference. Childlike, like when you just, life hasn't touched you in a way where you are doubting every move you make. So you're just like, there's so much possibility. And I still want to feel like that. I want to feel like there's a lot of possibility left. As many scary things are happening in the world, there's a reason that we're still here. There's a reason that babies are still being born. Because we still have another chance and another opportunity. So I want to get back to that. The just creating for the sense of creating before I realized that people were watching me. I want to learn that from her. And if I was going to say something to her, I would tell her that you don't have to be so perfect. You don't have to try to be so perfect. And again, that stems from feeling like I have to be twice as good as people to be seen. But I think it also stems from what people would say is good. It's like, as a child, I received a lot of support. I received a lot of validation, a lot of praise. But even well intentioned validation can lead you to look and crave other people's reactions instead of just like wanting to be yourself, and wanting to show up as yourself just for the sake of showing up. So I would tell her to be a little bit more messy. You don't have to be the good girl all the time. You don't have to be responsible for other people's smiles and other people's joy. Just be responsible for your own for now, because this is the time to do it. Um, and get back to feeling like you don't have to earn your value, because it's already inherent in you. Like, I believe that we are not our gifts, like we talked about. We are just who we are. Our gifts are an expression of who we are, but who I am is not about me. I think our gifts are always about service to other people, not in the sense of like the hospitality industry, or those are gifts too, but I mean like in the emotional and the spiritual sense. I have a sticky note hanging on my bathroom mirror that reads, it says, "The praise is not for me, the pressure is not on me, and the power is not from me." And it's not that I think that we don't have an active role to play in our lives and in how we live out our purpose, but I think it's just a reminder that I'm just a vessel for impact. I'm a vessel for light, and I'm just always trying to, with my work and how I show up in rooms, show people themselves. Like, I think we're all mirrors to each other. Often the reason you love someone, it could be because of them. It's because of them too, but it's because of who they bring out of you. So I want to be someone that makes people feel loved well, by me and by themselves. If your future self was here, what would she tell you to stop holding back? Like, girl, get out my business. If my future self was here, I definitely would have any advice for her. I would have a lot of questions. I would ask her if we leaned in. Like, did we lean into the dream? Again, did we lean into that feeling of loneliness and emptiness, and not as like, oh, woe, it's me, I'm so lonely, but like as a cue. Like, this is a cue to figure it out and inspect, why am I feeling empty? I have all these people surrounding me. I have all these people that love me. I have my health. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my belly. Like, I'm blessed beyond measure. So what is that emptiness coming from other than something that's in you? So that's the part of my life that I'm in right now. I'm trying to inspect it. I want to know if she figured it out. She don't gotta tell me the secret. Just let me know she figured it out. I would ask her if we became the artist we always wanted to be. Like, not in terms of fame or success when it comes to money, but were we still uncompromising in why we wanted to create art? Are we treating people well? I don't really want to know too much about what I accomplished. I want that to be a surprise. But I want to know that if while we were accomplishing these things, like, I want to know who I became. Like, am I a good person? I think that's more important. I think that's more important as like motivation for myself now. Like, did I figure that part of myself out? Did I get more comfortable with walking by faith and not by sight? Not because like I knowing the destination's there, but still being able to enjoy the journey and sit in it. Because there's always another dream to have. There's always another goal. So I just want to be able to be comfortable and be present when I do reach those things, and not always be in pursuit. So I hope she is settled in terms of that. Like, I hope she's settled in herself and in who she is. Um, what's the biggest lesson life is teaching you right now? She's teaching me a lot. Life is like uppercut, uppercut. I think the biggest lesson life is teaching me right now is that I need to have more boundaries. And again, I have like this good girl complex where I want people to feel safe around me. I want to feel safe with myself, but it often leads to people taking advantage of me, um, because I just want to be someone that shows up for people. I definitely fail and falter on that. I can do better, but I want to be more selfish. Like, I think the word selfish is such a dirty and mean word sometimes, but it doesn't need to be. Especially in your 20s, it's not meaning like I'm self-centered, but in terms of like I'm loyal to my purpose and what I believe it is. And I can't let the distractions get in the way because I'm too worried about the confusion instead of what I need to get done today. So I think that's the biggest lesson, is having more boundaries and standing firm in them, and just like standing on business. I think we all need to stand on business a little bit more, especially me, and just honor what I said I want for myself. Um, what am I learning to love about myself? Hmm. I think I am learning to love my indecisiveness. I want to fix it still, but I think it just comes from me having a lot of questions about life and me being very curious. Um, so I wouldn't say, okay, indecisiveness might be a bad word. I'm loving my curiosity about life right now. And the fact that I'm being more willing to just go with the flow. I want to stay in that space. I want to not control everything, because I think every time I've just let things take its course, I've been surprised. I wasn't supposed to be in Pittsburgh. I wanted to be in New York, but Pittsburgh has been the biggest blessing for me. And I think the people here are so collaborative and so supportive. I haven't met a hater yet. Like, people are so kind here. And I don't know if that's because I'm a transplant or not, because I heard different things, but it's been a great blessing for me. So I just want to again lean into that part of it. And I'm also learning to love my imagination. Like, for a long time, I think I was very stuck in the same place in my art because I felt like I didn't have anything to say that already existed. Like, I didn't have anything to say that was concrete for other people. But when I started looking at imagination, not simply for the fantastical thing. I'm not talking about like fairies and vampires, but as like preparation for a reality that hasn't arrived yet. I think I started to manifest the things that I want in my life, because everything that has come to me that is great and good these last couple of years has been because I started moving for a future that I didn't see yet. And then I brought other people into it. And they're like, oh, this is real. This is my dream now too. So I'm excited about my imagination. I'm excited to let her run free. Yeah. How has it felt to be seen in this way today? I think it feels very freeing to be seen in this way today. I think you cultivate such a comfortable, an open space where people feel vulnerable enough to start crying on the couch with someone they just met 20 minutes ago, which I don't like. But I love it. I don't like it, but I love it. I think a cry is good, clears out the dust from the eyes. So I think it's felt very reaffirming that, again, there are good people out there. Just go with the flow, and that Pittsburgh is a collaborative and supportive place. And that often the best people I find are other creatives. So I'm just happy to connect with another creative and be seen by you, and get to see you too. I hope you get to be in your own platform. Um, my biggest takeaway is that I have to keep going. Being bold and being a little outrageous and a little delusional has led me to this point. And I think I have the power to bring anyone else into my reality and help them expand theirs. I think a quote that has kind of really helped my trajectory as an artist today is a James Baldwin quote, where he said, To be African American is to be African without the memory and American without the privilege. I think that's what he said. Y'all can fact check me. But that helps me hone in on what I wanted to do with my art. Like, again, that's why imagination is so important to me, because I believe that our senses are living archives, like what we feel, what we touch, what we smell, what we hear. Like when I hear keys, or I hear mint in someone's pocket, I think of my dad. When I smell baby oil, I think of my grandma. So my biggest takeaway is that I just want to continue to tell people that they can let their imagination take up the space for them. Um, and create the outrageous things, because everything was outrageous until they brought it into fruition, and now everybody believes in it. Everybody thought the internet was crazy. Now look at it running our lives. So I'm very excited to keep going and see how I uncover new parts of myself. um any final thoughts? hmm I don't know. I think my last final thought is just for anyone listening to be a little bit more outrageous. That's really it. A lot of people always come up to me and ask me how I'm surviving as an artist and how I'm getting all of these opportunities. And it's because I'm not really waiting for anyone to give me an opportunity. Because I don't want to be a starving artist. I was never told that I would be a starving artist, but I was told that you have to be visible in order to be seen. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be a little afraid, a little bit vulnerable, and then continue to plow past all of that. Like, just don't let it stop there and let that keep you stagnant, because there's so many talented people. There's so many people with so many things to say, but that fear is getting in the way. And I think I just want to remind anyone that's listening that your gift is probably not about you. So don't be selfish. Don't be selfish in the bad way. Like, let us experience you. Let us learn from you. Let us grow from what you've gone through and be inspired by you. So yeah, just be a little bit more outrageous and be a little bit more cringy. Yeah, I think that's the beautiful part of life, when you're just out there. That's it. Thank you for being here, Dominique. Thank you for having me.